What's up, everybody? If you play fantasy football and want to get your lineup right for the upcoming week, be sure to check me out every Sunday from 9 a.m. Eastern Time to 1 p.m. Eastern Time on the Fantasy Sports Network show Lineup Lock Live as we go in depth with the week's fantasy football insight. Let's start with some keys to victory for both teams in this ball game. And looking at the Seattle Seahawks, I think the obvious key here is how they plan to attack the Giants on the perimeter. With what's going on in the Giants secondary in the last couple of weeks, this matchup is clearly in favor of the Seattle Seahawks with Doug Baldwin, Tyler Lockett, and Paul Richardson, and even Amara Darboh. I would fully expect them to try to get their passing game going first before anything else in this ball game. Defensively, they have to take away at least one dimension of the Giants offense, and in this ball game, it's clearly going to be their running game. The Seahawks want to make this a Russell Wilson versus Eli Manning game, which in my opinion heavily favors Seattle. You can also look at the Seahawks defensive coordinator Chris Richard and how aggressive will he be facing an inconsistent offensive line and a depleted receiving core. Will they take more chances as far as stunts and pressures are concerned, or will they continue to play their game, so to speak, and not get out of pocket trying to do something extra? For the Giants in this ball game, I look at Eli Manning and his ability as a seasoned vet to make calls at the line of scrimmage. I know last week Ben McAdoo gave up play calling responsibilities and Mike Sullivan took over and called a really good game against the Broncos. I wonder if they'll allow Eli Manning to push the tempo and pace and call some of the plays at the line of scrimmage to avoid any miscommunications or delays coming from the sideline. He's more than apt to do so and could be a quiet X factor in this ball game. Defensively, it's about push versus pressure against Russell Wilson. You can't give him any opportunities to extend the play. Keep him confined within that tackle box and give yourself a chance on defense. The Seahawks are similar to the Giants offensive line in the sense they have individual talent, but as a group they can be inconsistent from week to week. So there's an opportunity for them to take advantage of that in this ball game. I'm also interested to see how they match up versus Russell Wilson and the Seahawks offense. The Giants have good versatility at the safety position, so they'll get creative will they get creative and go with the 3 safety look, taking one backer off the field and use that additional safety as a spy on Russell Wilson, or will they attack off the edge a little bit more this week? I think it's all about the matchups, and the depth that they have at safety could give them a leg up in this contest. The biggest X factor for the Seahawks, I think, is J.D. McKissic. I'm intrigued by his unique skill set, and in my opinion, he's their best running back on the roster. I wouldn't let him leave the field as he provides the game-breaking element to their run game and is a matchup nightmare in the passing game for those Giants linebackers. And for the G-men, the secondary is the biggest and obvious X factor. We're hearing that DRC should be able to play in this ballgame, and if all is good, then this should be a great game within a game matchup to watch on Sunday. Having DRC back gives the Giants more flexibility on the back end to be able to match up against Seattle. The key matchup will be the Giants run game versus the Seahawks rush defense. If the Giants can create enough of a ground game that'll keep the Seahawks honest defensively, then it's a win in my book. But if they don't, or if the temps aren't there, then it could be curtains for Big Blue. I like Seattle in this ball game. The Seahawks are coming off of a bye and coming to MetLife well rested. Their defense looks to be in playoff form, and their offense should find some success early against the Giants defense. Now, this will be a closer than people think type of a game, as the Giants should be able to cause some problems defensively, but in the end, the better offense will prevail, and that belongs to Seattle.